Joining us now to reflect on the legacy of Mosiuoa Lekota is UDM leader and Deputy Minister of Defence and Military Veterans, General Bantu Holomisa. General, good evening. Thank you so much for your time and for joining us. It's, of course, an incredibly sad occasion. The country has lost someone who fought and dedicated his life to securing this country's democracy. He had a storied history and a complex one as well, one full of political turbulation but also full of political victory. What would you remember most about the character, the work and the life that was lived by Mosiuoa Lekota?
Firstly, I think we must agree that Terra Lekota has batted very well during his innings, starting from the time he was sent to jail for political reasons, and also when he led from the front in the establishment of UDF. And of course, he will be remembered in this country when he said he was serving divorce papers to the ANC. And he established a strong party. Unfortunately, they had problems within that party. But I think he will always be remembered as a person who was promoting or betting on a wicket of non-racialism and making sure that there's unity among South Africans. And also, we will remember him when he joined the ranks of the opposition benches in Parliament. Of course, we were happy at the establishment of COPE, because most of the people, if not all, who were joining the COPE were coming from the ANC. They understood the passage of the struggle, and that has gave the opposition benching some teeth. And unfortunately, as I said, his party ended up in the way it has diminished.
Yeah. Around 2006 and perhaps 2007, what unfolded in Polokwane pertaining to the ANC, and of course yourself having also defected from the ANC at some point, you had a number of interesting conversations with Madiba. Nelson Mandela, in fact, had even up to the end of his life convinced you, at least tried to convince you to return to the ANC. He would have no doubt had similar conversations with you about Mosiuoa Lekota's decisions and political life. Reflect for us on some of those conversations.
Well, correction, I didn't defect from the ANC, I was expelled. Terra Lekota left the ANC voluntarily. So, but when we discussed the issues politics with Madiba, at least he still had confidence in me, and we would discuss serious politics. I remember during the Polokwane conference, I joked to him to say, Daddy, let me accompany you to Polokwane and see how and watch what is going to happen. I qualified that by asking him, are you sure that the ANC is doing a right thing by shifting from the old policy of the elders choosing a leader who would take over from a retiring president? And then if you now allow this to challenge a serving president, are you ready to manage that? And then Madiba said, well, Bantu, I've retired. I've done my job. So let us wait and see how these boys will emerge. But everybody knows what happened in that conference. But talking about politics with Madiba, yes, we would discuss a number of issues. But the evening today is about Terra Lekota. Terra Lekota was a strong leader. There's no doubt about that. But unfortunately, I think he was naive to think that the ruling party would allow him to grow and I'm sure there were a lot of infiltrations which made it difficult for his party to grow.
Yeah, certainly. We're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much for your time this evening, General Holomisa. I really do appreciate it. Bantu Holomisa of the UDM talking to us.